My topic. So I went through these. If you're watching the video, these totes behind me have like figures and collector's editions and old game stuff, and like I've been going through
the Christmas poo.
I've been
going. I've been your right corner.
No, that's corner? That's the poop emoji.
No, that's
poop emoji.
Yeah,
that's a poop emoji. I'm sorry.
My 6-year-old cousin got me that.
It's a pile of shit. That's what it is. So let's just call a spade here.
The movie's gonna be a pile of shit too. But anyways,
no, it's gonna be a poop emoji. See what I did? See what I did
there? Anyways, sorry, Corey. Go ahead. We're just
so like I've been going through all my old games and stuff, seeing if I can like clean out anything, and like because 90% of the PlayStation games I've played, I now have on my PS3 or PS4. Like, you know, the Nintendo stuff is like I have all the games on this NES Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini coming out soon. Like, I'm really trying to clean out stuff that I can't store in boxes, and like,
or that you just don't need anymore.
Yeah, that too. Like, I just don't need, with like Virtual Console and PSN and Xbox Live, like all these old games are available.
Virtual Console. Sorry.
You know what, Matt? Do you want muted?
I'll do it.
Okay. So I was cleaning all this stuff out, and I found my old Atari and Master System sitting in a box. And then later this week, Atari shows us pictures of this Atari box, right?
Yes.
I want to talk about this Atari box.
Okay.
And like, what the hell is it? Pretty much is what I want to know what this thing is. So that article.
I'm going to point out to something Chris posted in the Platinum Achievements Facebook group.
I was just going there too.
And all he said was, "But why?"
Yeah. Why
those
though?
games?
Why though?
Everybody,
and I had to correct it for him. He said, "Why tough?" I'm like, Chris, that's not how you spell no.
But yeah, like those games, while they are important, very few of them will garner any fanfare.
Yeah, but it says this is a PC. This is a PC-based system that plays old and current games. This is the Game Informer article,
right? And I read that article too, and so it's like, are they going to? Is it going to play? Can a developer that's developing for the PS4 and the Xbox One and the Switch also tack on the Atari box? You know, onto that.
It has Atari box.
You know, it's gonna. I mean, are you gonna be able to port those over to the Atari box? Or my conversation with Chris is it like, what is it, the UI, which was supposed to be the Android-based Ouya? Thank you. Ouya. Where they're, because I mean, modern games, they're not gonna put freaking Titanfall 2 on there. Are you kidding me? That thing's not gonna run that unless they release specs that actually confirm that it can. It's probably just gonna be all old school Atari games. And then they're gonna drop like, oh, you can play mobile games on here as well.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what I'm getting from this is like it has an SD card slot, so I'm assuming you could probably load emulators up on this thing and like play it that way too.
Now, see, that would be cool because you could do all the emulate all the Ataris, or even put a Nintendo emulator on there or something.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
You could do a wood panel Nintendo. Oh, now I'm in.
I mean, the box looks like it's supposed to be aiming for a modern Atari box, but like, why do we need this thing? Like, did they not see all these like plug and play systems? Are they not doing it for them now? Like
I don't think Atari has a plug and play system, does it?
They have like 30 of them.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
I mean, TVs don't come with composite cable inputs anymore. So like, is that what they're dealing with now? They're like, oh, we got to make a box that has HDMI on it now.
Yeah,
I mean, this thing just bothers me in so many different ways.
I mean, it's just it seems like another just lamppost in the fact that Atari died for a reason.
Can I just call it right now? It's going to crash and burn.
Sure.
Unless they come out with specs and they're like, oh, our specs are very similar to an Xbox One and a PS4, so it's easy to port those games onto the system, which allows for an increase in the catalog. Because I mean, if depending on the price, if you're going to charge me, $250 for this system, and then I can only play every so often newer games that decide to, develop for it as well, I'm not going to pay for that. You know what I mean? I'll wait till it drops in price significantly, and then maybe pick up one, or not play it at all, because I had an Atari 2600 and the graphics were just.
I mean, it was good for its time. Bad. It was good for its time. It was good.
No.
I
agree with you. Go ahead, Chris.
But it's not the graphics you want to go back to. Like no one's gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to play that 4-bit golf game, or that ball looks like a square.
I play Cobra Commander.
Or I want.
Hell yeah.
Do you still play it?
I
can't wait to play my digital version of ET.
Yeah, like oh my god, no.
Okay,
okay.
That bullshit. That bullshit aside, the Atari had some great games. I mean, everything that they did, a lot of those games have just been evolved and bettered since their existence. But I think that, like Chris was saying something. Like, there are a couple of generations of video games that just don't age well. That is one of them. The Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 is probably the other. The polygonal stuff.
Yes, I agree with you.
PS1 doesn't age well. Like, I tried to go back to some of the games. I'm like, oh no, this isn't good.
Well,
if it's simple.
If it's the sprite-based, if you're talking about RPGs, I think the RPGs can age well. Like, if we're talking like Suikoden, Suikoden 2, or we're talking like Breath of Fire 3, I will agree with you, like, where they tried to go start the 3D revolution with, like, Crash.
Metal Gear Solid.
Well, Metal Gear Solid, I don't know if it holds up because I haven't played it in a while.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
But I feel like sprite-based RPGs can hold up. I think those games of the PS1 era would definitely still hold up. But yeah, I agree with you. PlayStation 1, the other games like Crash or like you said, Metal Gear or any of the other stuff, just no. Like, it's so pixelated and just looks horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at that time, it looked great. Like, I played the hell out of Metal Gear Solid. I played that. That was the reason I bought a DualShock controller with rumble functions, was so that I could play. So I could play it, and the freaking heartbeat thing freaking scared the shit out of me. Like, he's playing it, and then the DARPA chief's his heartbeat just starts racing in your controller. So I'm like, what the heck is this? I mean, it's almost like when I bought my PS4 and started playing Grand Theft Auto, and all the police broadcasting and the phone calls were coming through the control. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, but that's awesome.
Me.
Yeah, I mean, why is the controller talking to me? That's pretty cool. But
let me throw this out here, because I just had a thought on this. Like, I know we just kind of made fun of this box, but what if they, and I don't think they will, like, I can almost guarantee you they won't, but what if they had like this upgraded collection of classic Atari games that they upgraded to like 16 to 32-bit pixelized art, like of, Kaboom is very popular, Commando,
Asteroids,
Pac-Man, maybe. Like, what if they got upgraded versions of these games that were like 16 or 32-bit, kind of like way like Shovel Knight looks or something?
That's too much work. That's too much development time.
They're not going to do that much work for not a lot of money up front. If the box sold, then they might be able to take some money and do that. I don't think that's a really risky investment.
No, I'm not talking about the investment. I'm asking, would that get you to buy one?
Oh yeah, if they did it, I'd buy one.
But see, I also think that there's something to be said here. Is like, those games nowadays are seen as like abstract frameworks for other games like Asteroids. You know, if there's probably a better 16-bit or 32-bit version of that. There's probably a better 16-bit, 32-bit version of Defender. I mean, hell, PS4 got a version of Defender. It's called fucking Resogun. That's what. I mean, I haven't played Nex Machina, but Resogun is basically Defender. I do.
Just saying.
But like, you know, PS3 had Dyad, which is basically Tempest.
What if they?
I mean, the Mario games are Pitfall essentially.
What if they released it and the quote unquote modern games that they're talking about is just indies? What if they put some form of, they put Steam on there and say, and in like,
yeah, but at that point we already have PS4s and Xbox Ones and
no. Yeah, but the PS4 can't run Steam games because they're on Steam, is what I'm saying. So like, what if it was an Atari box that came a little bit of that, Chris? It's a Steam box that also runs the licensed games from Atari. So you get all these Atari games, and then you also like you have the SD card slot where you could put memory slot in and say, well, I want to download, I want to play Terraria or Starbound, games that don't require too complicated of a system, and then that's what you could play on there. Because if you look at those games, a lot of those games like Terraria and Starbound, and even like Shovel Knight, and you go back to Dead Cells, I believe, is out recently. It's an open access. They look like modernized versions of Atari games. You know what I'm saying? So Chris,
Ryan, you can run Atari emulation on Steam boxes.
I know you can. I'm just saying for them to put it out. I'm saying for them to make money off of it.
Here's the pitch that sort of would bring me in, but I know that there's not going to be any sort of front-facing perspective on this. One of my favorite things to do in the early mid-2000s was to play games on MAME engine, which was basically emulated arcade versions of games that ran relatively well. I mean, you know, you could get the Digital Foundry guys to tell you, oh, well, this version of Double Dragon doesn't run like it did in the arcade cabinet. Yeah, well, whatever. If I can sit down and beat the arcade version of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on my couch, I'm all for it. But if there was a way for that to happen on this, that would be cool. I just don't think there's going to be any sort of PR perspective on that because MAME is definitely looked at with a bit of side eye from the industry.
Little.
Yeah, little. I think that's illegal.
No.
But if there was a way I could play those games on a controller as opposed to how I had to play it then, you could probably play it on a controller now. I had to use the keyboard then. That would bring me in.